Hi everyone. I thought I'd make a quick video to help explain what it is that I do as an art teacher. We're coming into our second session, and I didn't really get a chance to know a lot of the parents in the first session, so I'm hoping that this little video gives you a little bit more of an idea of where I come from as an art teacher. I've been doing it for about 23 years and have a full-on curriculum. We do all kinds of learning of art skills, as well as learning how to creatively express. The young kids up to like kindergarten stuff have no problem with creative expression, but after that, a lot of times what happens is if kids can't get things to look the way they want to, they give up or they get frustrated. The ones who get good at it are the ones who just are excited about practicing it, and they can get good at it on their own. What I've found is that a lot of kids are interested but don't have that natural inborn sense of just needing to express, but they love to do it. And so with a little bit of instruction on how to draw, how to shade, how to do texture, basics of painting and color theory, their artwork becomes amazing and they're very happy with it. So there's really those two kinds of artists. You get the kid who's got things pouring out of them. They oftentimes don't need as much instruction. And then you have kids like me who want to do it but need to be instructed on how to do it. And then once we have those skills, we practice those skills, then we become those people that can creatively express better. So I like to teach the lines of drawing and shading and texture. We will cover that with the first to fourth graders. And we will be doing some sculpture work and some maybe some painting. It's tricky in the church settings because of the carpet and stuff to make sure that, especially because the classes tend to be a little bit larger. So a lot of the painting and the really messy stuff I do in my studio. And there's 5 classes that I've got offered right now, if you're interested in those as well. There is a cost to the class. The time to put things into bins and haul things and make sure that materials are there and make sure that I have everything I need is a little bit of it. There's the curriculum, there's the cost of the consumable supplies that your child will use, as well as I really believe in matting, in making sure that the artwork is presented. They get a whole new understanding of what they've done by taking and matting it properly. And we do a lot of discussing of that. And even young kids can see that. When they can see a piece of their artwork before and after it's matted, their faces light up because it looks more real. It looks, and other people respond the same way. It's like, wow, that's an amazing piece of art. I try and make sure that everything is easily hung or presented in as inexpensive way as possible. I don't actually put frames on things, but we do mat them. And we like to get them ready and talk about why to have them in the art show at the end of the year. So the class is actually, last session I did with the Meiji Co-op, I did have everybody do it the same way I do at my home studio, which is a small upfront fee and then a little bit each week to help cover the costs of things. It seemed to be a little bit more confusing for people and just because of the busyness of the co-op, harder for people to remember. And so I thought it'd be easier this time to do just an upfront fee. If anybody needs to break it up, I'm perfectly happy to do that. It actually ends up being less than $10 a class. And if I put a mat around certain pieces of artwork and stuff, it can eat that whole $10 right there. So the cost has been kept really, really low. As low as I can get it anyway. The materials that we're going to use are going to be all provided for you. If I don't always provide paper at home, a lot of times kids just use the copy paper or they have their own sketchbooks and stuff. But if a family needs me to do that, that's easy to do. I always offer it. Sometimes kids will have the desire to really make sure things are protected and not wrinkled and stuff, and that they usually provide their own little carrying case or something. I don't provide that either. We do give them binders and they get their homework in it. They will have homework because you can't get good at something you don't practice. Art is teachable, and that's where I come from. Creative expression is important, but if I creatively expressed on a violin, I would get really, really bored with it if I didn't learn how to hold the violin and how to play the music, how to read music, and if I didn't practice. And art's the same way. Is given a basic set of skills, we find that especially that first to fourth grade time period when they're starting to want to make it look the way they want, and they've kind of gotten past the whole, oh, this is a blast and I just kind of paint some stuff and then I'm done. They actually want it to look like something. some kids don't have the skill set, they learn the skill set, it becomes a whole new ball game for them. Their artwork becomes much more mature. They're much happier with it. It becomes something that's enjoyable instead of something that's frustrating. And I really believe that art can be taught to anybody. The biggest difference is the practice. And that's why, like anything else, if your brain only does it once in a while, it's not comfortable with it. The more we do something, the more the brain goes, oh, I do this all the time, it's easy. And that's my approach with art. So we will do homework, usually 2 different assignments. And I like them done on 2 different days. And so that's something I like the parents to commit to a little bit. As far as the digital photography class, that does require some parent commitment. The art part of it, where will be done, what we'll do in co-op is we'll actually take some of that photography. We'll do a lot of discussing of compositions and how-tos and stuff like that. We're going to be talking mostly on how to think like a photographer and how to get different angles and different, like, we're not going to talk about how to make your camera do different exposures and different things, because everybody's different, has different cameras in this age group. Mostly is going to use mom and dad's phone. But we're going to talk more about how to think like a photographer and how to find a good picture. And then they will do, like, they'll have to print their pictures and bring them in, and oftentimes we'll do a piece of artwork with that printed version of the photography. And sometimes we'll just be talking about it. And again, we'll be doing matting and stuff in there too, because it does change the whole way. We look at different colored mats, and we look at mounting versus matting and different things in order to create something that actually helps that artwork match the child's style. So the photography class is really a lot of fun, but it does require, and luckily we got 2 weeks in between most of our sessions, that you can go and get that done. I have done it before where parents literally, the kid comes in, they take their pictures, and a week later they have to or bring back printed copies. They can be printed at home, they can be printed at Walmart and stuff. Some of them will be 4x6s, some will be 5x7s, and some will, 1 or 2 of them, depending, probably at least one of them will be an 8x10. So we can do a piece of artwork with it. I give all the assignments for the photography up front so kids can start to look for the things that will satisfy that assignment. And that's because with photography, when you see it, you got to take it. So then there will be certain ones that are assigned and necessary for them to do on that day. If for some reason some crazy thing gets happening and somebody doesn't have their piece of photography, what I have is like old calendars and stuff that show good composition, and that they can do the artwork with that. I don't want ever anybody to feel they can't come to class because they didn't bring their homework in. But that class does require parental participation in that, making sure that it gets printed. The kids learn a ton, and I know that with photography these days, it's so easy for kids to take pictures that more and more of them are excited about that particular venue in art. And we, as far as the 1st to 4th graders, they will be doing some sculpture and some drawing and some mixed media. We like to expose them to a bunch of different types of art, because a lot of them don't have a sense necessarily of what they like. And sometimes I find that kids are like, oh, I don't like painting. But it's mostly because they've not been taught how to paint and how holding a brush a certain way. We talk about not only they mix all their own colors, but they just a lot of times it's how you hold your brush, whether you're using the correct brush. I buy very high quality brushes, and we teach them how to care for them, because at least when you've got a high quality brush, you can carry enough paint and you can get the brush strokes that you want. You're not struggling with the materials trying to get, because a lot of times that's the problem in art, is people don't have the materials and they're trying to get something that's not really quality to work for them, and it's not meant for the job. So we like to provide the correct tools for the job. I am going to have, you'll see on YouTube when you go to watch this video, that I do have some other videos. They are a little bit in the Khan Academy style, because at the time they were doing a thing where they were looking for instructors, and I did a few videos and sent that in. I will be reworking those videos eventually, but you can also check out, I have a Flickr account, and I will send that information on with the email to Laura. The Flickr, it's not really designed to showcase a lot of other people's work, so it all looks like it says by you, like I did it. but it does have really, really good pictures of a lot of the past classes. Most of those pictures will be eventually moved over to the website. The website is art@mydiningroomtable.com. It is also a little bit under construction, but it gives you a good idea also of what I do. And it has the class schedule on the classes page as well. So if you have any questions, just email me. And I'm happy to talk to anybody also. We'll be back on January 8th. And that first week we'll be just getting settled back in again. And then the week after, classes start up at my house. And then, of course, we'll do the Meiji Co-op in February. So looking forward to seeing anybody. And if you have any questions, let me know. Thanks. I can't get it to turn off.